false. That's not true. That's a fucking lie, and you know it. So shut the fuck up.
Also, too, if y'all have the energy,
That's my bad, y'all. I'm eating. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, a lot of, like, y'all saying people in y'all DMs, and I feel like that's just like y'all have this energy to go in people DMs. Y'all have the energy to change shit, and just remember that y'all are people over the internet. Y'all words cannot hurt people. I just want y'all to know that. I'm
Y'all
just
low key
saying that
sound
because
dumb in my DMs
exactly,
and
like,
in my mentions
people,
too. I've never. First of all, I just
yeah,
want to
like
say I've
people
never had
quote
people mention me
tweeting.
on Twitter, so thank y'all for like the little clap or whatever. But are y'all okay? Have y'all been outside recently? Because I work from home. I know sometimes when I don't go outside, I be getting real into Twitter. Go outside or just open a window and just breathe some air in and like feel the sunlight.
Please.
And I'm so serious because as much as y'all hate me or think I'm stupid or whatever the fuck dumb shit you feel, you're still a person, and I still believe everything I believe in. I believe for you as well. It's not just for me. That's the point. It's for everybody. So definitely take care of your mental health, please, because some of y'all are talking insane in my DMs.
Get some sensible air, please.
Yeah, like please just like legitimately go take care of your mental health for a second because I am worried about you. Okay. Who is our next hand?
Oh, apparently I'm a pedophile defender now. Hilarious.
Excuse me?
Niggas are wilding. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody quote tweeted my
seriously.
tweet that I had put at the top, and they was like, no, it was some dumb shit. Hold on. I'm gonna try and send it up there, but I'm sorry. I don't want to take from other people. I'm so sorry.
Alrighty. We have a hand. Ahmed and Stance have had their hands up for a very long time. So I think I'm gonna Ahmed, do you wanna go?
Yo, hi.
Hello.
I just saw on my TL like loads of people saying the system failed us. The system, it's not working. The system is like, it's fucked and shit. I'm just thinking to myself, the system isn't built for us. The system isn't built for black people.
Mhm.
It's built to serve the ruling people, white people. You can't
You good? Can anybody else hear him? Am I cut out? Or
I can't hear him either.
No, can't hear him.
see. Ahmed, we're gonna come to you back in a second, darling. I'm gonna drop you down to listener. Just request again. I'll bring you back up. Okay. Stance, would you like to go? Going once. Twice. Alrighty.
Who stands? I have my hand up. I don't know if you can see my hand
Stacy.
though.
Oh my god, yeah, I cannot see and I'm dyslexic. Go ahead.
You're fine, girl. So I just want to say, I love you all. But I have to say, I disagree. I mean, I believe that we can have an open dialogue. And I don't think, I really don't think looting and rioting is the answer to anything, really, in my opinion. I'm from the South. I'm in Arkansas specifically. I just got to say that, I mean, for one, Kyle did have the right to carry his weapon for self-defense purposes, and that's kind of what he did. I mean, he was self-defending himself. Most of the gun carry laws in most of the states are right around the 18-year to 20-year. It depends, varies on state. But I just want to know, I don't get why race is brought up so often, because I honestly do
because
not
every
see...
fucking day I wake up, I'm a black person, and that affects my day-to-day life, and it will never affect you in the same way. That's why it's brought up.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying...
He went to a BLM protest.
Yeah, he went to a Black Lives Matter
counter
rally.
protest. He went there
Yeah.
to
protect...
counter protest. So think
Right.
about what that means. That means
Right.
that
Well,
he was protesting against Black Lives Matter.
Right. And the thing is that, I mean, it's nothing... I don't think he was against Black Lives Matter. He was against the looting of property and burning it down.
Okay, but
there's nothing that justifies that.
Okay, but let's get to the root of that issue, because
You think property
means more than someone's fucking life? Niggas die every day. Okay? I don't give a fuck about that target.
Yeah, but then there's black people that get killed by black people, but some of them are
Let's
never
not bring
brought
black
up.
people
And then there's
We're
bro.
not gonna do the black on black argument, baby, because crime happens in proximity. White people, crackers kill each other at the same motherfucking rate. So what we not gonna do is name that shit, because that is not a factor. Crime happens in proximity. And since we're talking about systemic racism, let's talk about all the factors that push people into crime. When you can't afford to feed yourself, you have to steal to feed yourself. So we're not gonna make it sound like, oh, well, black people kill each other. No, shut that shit the fuck down. Crimes happen in proximity. Y'all kill each other just as much as we do. So I don't want to hear that.
You spoke
Yeah,
about
like
the
it's a
free. Oh, I'm sorry. You spoke about the free market, and I was just curious. I mean, if this really comes down to like what's going on, even like such a like shitty brokerage as, let's say, Robinhood, they don't see your skin tone, and your ability to learn is only constricted by your own mentality. So if you think you have no chance in the free market, YouTube's free with
Darling,
endless
when I
knowledge.
was talking, no. I referenced the free market when I said the cost of medicine is too high. I'm not participating in this dumbass investing thing because it's not fucking real, A. And why would I do that? I barely have enough fucking money to support myself as a person with the rising food and housing prices. The stock market isn't a game for us to make money and elevate ourselves out of poverty. The stock market is a game for rich people to play rich people. Educate yourself out of poverty. You can't educate yourself out of poverty. Niggas don't want to pay you any money.
All right, I guess we'll skip the free market, and your choice to not participate in something that's very real is one thing, but I had another question. If we reverse this scenario 100%, let's talk back. Take this and replace this with black people. Why on earth would a man not be found not guilty for defending himself against another black man who said he was going to kill him, a child toucher, and a woman beater? Prior, and a felon with a gun. On what
It's
planet
not
would that man be
self-defense if it's
not guilty?
premeditated.
There's
Jesus
nothing
fuck.
premeditated about going to kill people when you don't even know them or plan that shit.
I just hate the fact that
You have
y'all
no
always
idea if
want to
people are
bring
going to
black
throw shit at
people
your
into
head
it
and you're
when
going to be
black
running
people are
away
the
while people
victims.
try to
That's all
hit
I
you
gotta
with a
say.
skateboard or any of this
No,
shit.
he
How do you
he
see the
didn't
future? I don't
go
know
there with a
what planet you're
plan to
on. Like,
murder one
socialist liberal
person in
extremists
particular,
just
but he
fantasize over
went there
shit, but what are
looking
you
for
good at? What are
trouble.
you the best at? The reason you're nowhere is because you're not the best at anything. Anything you say
Excuse
means
me?
nothing
What
Yo,
if you're
the
kick
not the
that
best.
motherfucker.
Nobody
Excuse me?
gives a fuck
Kick
what you
that
have.
Who the fuck was that? Comrade, who was that? Moth, who
It
was
was
Get
that?
better.
this guy
It's
Become
the
right
somebody
here,
in
Kraken
this world, and what you say
person.
might
crack.eth.
It's
matter.
Moth
This
time.
Until
Moth
you
this
time is the
fucking
one
learn
talking.
that you're nothing in this world.
yeah, that's the guy.
Bye-bye.
I'ma
Yeah,
just I just wanna say, um, all y'all white people in here trying to bring y'all little white views, not the white people that, actually speaking some sense, but talking about, oh, he came there for self defense. Da 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 da.
He didn't come
First,
there for self-defense. He was defending himself
I
from
didn't disrupt
somebody
you while you were
beating
talking,
him.
so I didn't disrupt
Listen,
you while you were
listen.
talking.
I'm sorry,
He
Nina,
took it
and I don't mean
upon
to
himself.
interrupt, but I have to speak to Stacy on this. Listen, he fucking went to a place that he did not fucking but need to be with an AR fucking 15
Well, we
to
can say that with
protect
a bunch
to
of people in the
protect
fucking United
fucking
States.
property. Hold on. Listen, like, and if you care about the fucking law, and I don't, but I want to say this. If you care about the law, you're not supposed, it's a fucking federal crime to bring a firearm to a protest anyway.
Well, is it a
First and
federal crime
foremost.
to burn down buildings and loot and steal?
excuse
I mean,
me.
I
Fuck
don't
What
want
your
to
the
be
fuck are
buildings.
you
arrested for that shit
talking
either.
Do
about,
you know,
They
though?
just
hold
walk
on,
in and
stop.
take
What
shit
the
Do you
and
know
steal
why
from
those
working
buildings,
Americans. That
Stacy,
is
shut the
wrong.
fuck up and listen to me. Do you know why those buildings were getting burned down? Do you know why people were setting fires? A man had his neck kneeled on for 9 fucking minutes. We
Yeah,
watched
that's
this
not right
motherfucker
either. I'm
get
not supporting
murdered.
that. I'm not supporting that. I never supported that.
Who said
Wait,
I
You have
did?
to support
That
it,
was a
but
No.
the
bad
fact
officer.
is
But it doesn't
that
mean
a riot is the voice of the unheard. Those are the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Maybe y'all should try listening for once.
Exactly.
May I interject? May I interject?
Please win.
Please do, sir. Please do.
These same people did not have the same energy for Trayvon Martin. An unarmed boy that was in his father's neighborhood, that was gunned down by George Zimmerman. These things are right aligned. You might say, no, it's not. Remember, he had a right to be there. George Zimmerman ignored the dispatcher and engaged anyway.
I'm sorry. I was throwing hundreds. Please finish, win.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He
No, it was
he
my
ended up
fault.
dead. He
Black
ended up
people
dead,
throwing
and he
hundreds.
and he and he had nothing. I'm gonna tell you how egregious it was in Florida. One of the jurors even said, "Hey, if he had not gotten suspended, he wouldn't have been there." So they let his killer walk. Now, this kid had no business being there. Had no business being there. And people are defending this like he had every right to be. We see the hypocrisy. All these white people saying this BS, we see the hypocrisy. I even see it among black people. Black people are saying that Trayvon Martin was wrong for confronting a person that was following him unarmed. This is America. Now, if when do black people get the benefit of the doubt? And when don't white people get the benefit of the doubt? That is the question. Because even though he was legally, lawfully allowed to be there, there's people still said it was his fault. He caused his own death. We had people like Charles Barkley saying, well, he started beating the hell out of him. This guy was following him. If he can't claim self-defense, how is it that a white boy can go to a protest with an AR-15 and claim self-defense? I don't understand. Make me understand that, please.
and
Somebody.
on 3 people too. It's like maybe if it was one, I could understand how maybe you could try and twist it and argue, but the motherfucker shot 3 separate people. Like that does nobody else there left the protest having shot 3 people. He was the
And
only one.
an unarmed 17-year-old didn't get the benefit of the doubt. And he had every right to be there.
But an armed white teenager.
I mean, just please, somebody explain this to me.
It's by design, big dog. It
It's
ain't no
called.
No.
mistake.
You know what it is. When it's systemic racism. It's just what it is.
Design.
That's exactly what it is.
Black people,
It
I
shouldn't
remember
be
black
like
people
that
saying,
though.
where were his parents? Black people were saying this. Black and white people were saying this. This dude, his mama get to drive him to a black line. I'm like, I'm living in the Twilight Zone.
It's always been like
And
this.
can somebody clarify this for me? Wasn't they just arresting people from Minnesota that was crossing state lines to go protest in Minnesota? But this
Yes,
kid gets to cross state lines to go shoot up people? Like I don't give a
yes.
fuck if you're black, white, pink, purple, or black or green. This is fucking sad, bro. This kid should be in jail. This is sad. You don't cross state lines like the white girl said earlier to protect property. He don't own that fucking property. Why the fuck is he protecting property? You're a fucking kid. Go to high school. Study for
How
college.
much
You cross
privilege
state
is
lines
that?
for college and
How
kill 3
much
people and get
privilege
away
is
with it.
that?
And she literally just said, well, he was trying to protect property. He's not even from the fucking state. Why is he protecting property in another state? He went
Hey,
there to
so
kill
I
people
let
with the intent, and that's fucking sad. And people are defending this shit. It's okay because it's okay. It's okay because when Jesus comes and the wrath comes, everybody's gonna have the answer to the Lord. This is sad. I don't give a fuck if you're orange. I don't give a fuck if you're from Mars. If you agree with this kid done, you're a piece of shit and look in the mirror. You don't cross state lines with the intent to kill people and claim self-defense. It does not work like that. It does not.
Yo,
They
does
should be
anybody
burned under
think
the
this
fucking
is a
Yeah.
jail.
psyop?
Yo, you're absolutely right. How do you say your name, Kelly?
Yeah, Keely. I just don't
Keely. All
understand
right.
why the white girl earlier said, well, he was just coming to protect property. He doesn't even live in the fucking state.
I don't
Why is he
even
worried
Yo,
about that
these
understand why
shit?
she tried to bring up
listen.
black on black
No,
crime.
dead
Like,
ass.
The
I just want to
fuck?
say to Stacey's
That's
dumbass real quick.
that's.
Black
I
people
mean,
go to
that's
jail
just
for
a.
killing black people. That's the difference.
And
Yo,
it's so
people who benefit from privilege, like the lady in question, they always tend to overlook the facts in favor of their whataboutism. That's just and it goes back to what Keith was saying earlier. Like, white people need to fucking have these conversations with white people so that way they can fucking do better. I don't know how that works as far as we go. But hey, real quick, I wanted you guys to know that we have like a million requests over here. So if anybody wants to drop down, please do drop down, and we're gonna get through all of these speakers. We're gonna keep them as short and sweet as possible.
How do you drop
oh,
down?
you just
Do you
click
want?
on your thing and it'll say switch to listening.
Yeah.
also, if
I
I
just
may
I'll
add
drop
something
also.
really
I just
quick.
want to say one more thing that didn't really make sense to me. Also, I know everybody's seen the picture that went viral where Kyle was standing behind the judge. How the fuck are you on trial for murder and get to stand behind the judge? How?
how you get to
How?
pick your own jury.
How?
That's what I
Pick
want
the
to know.
jury
How? I went to
out of
court
all
for a
kinds
bullshit
of.
theft charge, and I approached the bench where you have to talk to the judge to plead guilty or not guilty. I took one wrong step toward the judge, then not knowing. A cop put out his gun on me in court.
Hey,
But this
hey,
kid that
Keely.
is facing 3 fucking murders gets to literally stand behind a federal judge.
Hey,
Literally, with no
Keely.
handcuffs or no restrictions.
Hey, Keely. I can answer your question. The reason why he can stand behind the judge on a murder trial is because the judge is also standing by him. It's a metaphor.
I get it.
The so
Shut
there's
me
a couple
down
things I wanted to
because
Also,
I can't
unpack
do it.
as far as if and first of all, Mothton. Earlier when someone was ranting, I guess you were off mute and it looked like it was you. So I thought I said it was you, so I apologize because it wasn't you. So my bad
No
on that.
worries. Hey,
Can
But
I
no
bring up
worries.
one other thing? One
I'm
other
like,
thing.
yeah, go ahead and then I'll go after you.
yeah. I mean, I just honestly,
Okay.
I'm cool.
Where
I'm
was
cool
the
as fuck.
outrage? Where was the outrage when Joe Biden basically deemed Black Lives Matter a terrorist organization?
Well, that's funny you say that because so I've
Where
been
was the
listening to.
outrage when he deemed Black Lives Matter a domestic terrorist organization?
There was none because he saved us from the fascists, the orange fascists, you know.
But also, I want to add like one more thing, if I may. That woman, Stacy, and also the guy that was the free market dork that was talking. They know what's going on. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying, "Oh yeah, you don't see things from a different perspective." No, they are willfully ignorant. They are willfully ignorant. People who are silent about justice are nothing but deaf, dumb, and blind devils. So, and I'm having people slide in my DM saying he's innocent or whatever. I'm like, oof, this is tough, guys. This is really tough.
Well, that's very potent that you say that because like I've been taking notes for like the last 25 minutes so that I don't miss a couple of things. But
Yeah,
the
I'm
the
getting.
the 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 people who spoke up and took the alternate side of the story, they came up the same way that under the same umbrella that I came up under. And I'm a white male. I'm a former Republican. And I think the first question that you have to do, because Stacy came out and she was like, "Well, that's not racist. Defending things aren't racist. Rioting is bad." And like all these things on the surface seem to be very logical points. when you bring them up to logical people. They seem logical at first, but perception is based not sometimes, but all the times on experience. And what you have to do is you have to ask a couple questions. What is racist to these people? Like, okay, you say that you say there's no racist. They'll say, and I'll be like, they'll say, oh, it's not racism. Okay, explain to me, sir, ma'am, what do you think racism is? And what I'll tell you right now is that most of the time it appears to me that they feel, and this is something we deal with on our podcast all the time, they feel that racism is a bunch of weirdos with masks on burning a cross in Mississippi. And anything below that is not racism,
LMAO.
No,
right?
the racists are over here in this space. There's over 1,000 people in this space.
But they don't
There's some
view
of them
that
in
as
my DMs
racism.
right now.
They don't view that. This is what I'm telling
I
you.
see what you're
I'm not
saying. I see what you're
defending
saying.
it. They don't think that is racism. They think that is just sensible. So you have to explain to them, and it's incumbent on white Americans, specifically men, to have these conversations like the other gentleman said with other white Americans. Because once they realize that there's a hierarchy here that starts with stereotype and then goes into prejudice and then bias and then bigotry and then racism, you may not be impacting racism on someone, but you're still bigoted or biased, right? So that's the thing that needs to come up number one. I have 4 points here, and I'll race through them, I promise. Someone said, "Go vote." Vote for fucking who? Corporate
Exactly.
Democrats? These guys pass legislation for affordable housing, but nobody wants it in their neighborhood, because even in places like San Francisco, they'll say, oh, well, we're going to give up 40 acres for affordable housing. But the so-called liberals, these corporate Democrats in those areas, they say, oh, yeah, we definitely want the corporate housing, or I'm sorry, the affordable housing. We just don't want it next to me, right? And it's, and then they'll say, well, communism. Someone brought up communism. Communism's fine. It's just economics. But what these people do, and this is why the right is so dangerous, is they're so good at marketing, and the left sucks balls at marketing. The Democratic Party needs a new fucking marketing department. The right will focus on the atrocities of bad communist regimes and then completely brush any atrocities committed by capitalists under the rug. Peaceful protest, guys, is not listened to. Okay, that's my last point. They told what happened when Kaepernick knelt? They went fucking ballistic. And then we had the protest summer last year. And they said, can't you just protest peacefully? Well, what the fuck did you do to Kaepernick? You told him to shut the fuck up and you called him un-American. And you say, okay, look at January 6th. All right, and I'm just trying to explain how these people think, because I was one of them, and I have them in my family, and I love my parents, but they're conservatives, right? This is difficult. But like when they say, well, January 6th, the people didn't feel like they were being listened to, and they felt like there was something bad going on and no one was paying attention to it, and the media was blotting it out. And within the matter of 5 weeks between the election and January 6th, they went from being upset to protesting to picketing on the streets, and then finally to rushing the Capitol building. Within fucking 5 weeks, they went from 0 to 100. What do you think the black community has been going through since the fucking 1600s? The mentality is precisely the same, but then they understood it when they were the ones that felt unlistened to. And that is what's lost here. And just last quick thing, 761st Gun Club, if you're around Chicago, that other conversation, they are fantastic black gun club, but they accept people of all races. If you can look up the 761st Gun Club, they're a great place to get educated on firearms.
Thank you very much.
All right, I hate to do this. I know it's been a huge space. It's been most of today. I am going to have to shut down. If somebody wants to create a space to continue this conversation, please do so. I think it's really good for everybody to talk to each other and have these conversations. It needs to happen.
Hey,
So
I'll create a space to keep it going. There's a lot of people that wanted to speak on it, so I'll go ahead and
I thank you, Moth. I
I'll
appreciate
throw
that,
one
and
up right now.
I'm really sorry, everybody. Follow along, keep going, keep it going, keep talking to each other. I love you all. Take it easy. Be good to each other, for Christ's sake.